F1 2023 is finally here. As I'm recording this, F1 is in car launch, or more like livery launch season, as we are now only a couple of weeks away from pre-season testing and now within a month of the first Grand Prix in Bahrain. And I'm so excited, and today I'm going to be giving out my predictions for the top 5 and bottom 5 drivers in the World Championship. If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button and join me for much more F1 content throughout the 2023 season. I have so much that I'm going to be producing this year, so be sure to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out for more. Almost 80% of my viewers are not currently subscribed, and I would love to decrease that number. Now, let's get to the video. So, we are going to be starting with the bottom 5 drivers in the championship, and sadly, I've just got a bit of a feeling that in 20th and in 19th place is gonna be the two Williams drivers. In 20th place, it'll be Logan Sargent, and in 19th place, it will be Alex Albon. Now, I do not want to be too downbeat on Williams because I love the team and really do want to see them succeed, but I do think that they are in for a really difficult season, and they're going to spend a lot of 2023 trying to just get themselves back on track. They had a troubled and turbulent winter break, sadly, and I do think that that is going to affect the team, and it's going to have derailed them a little bit. Jos Capito left the team. He was, of course, the team principal, and they spent a lot of the winter break without a technical director. And this lack of technical director and lack of team principal is really going to hinder the team when it comes to development of the car from the end of 2022. It just gives a feeling that the team is just going to be lacking that little bit of direction early on in the year, because without a technical director, they've got no one who's leading the project. Without a team principal, they've got no one who's leading the team. So they're going to really struggle. And in the first half of 2023, I think they're just going to be in a gelling phase where they're trying to just get everyone used to working together. And hopefully that can be used to help push them forward in 2024. I think Logan is going to have a tricky rookie year, and the team will be relying on Alex Albon to hopefully push them forward. But yeah, I can see 2023 being a difficult year for the Williams team. So in 20th place, it will be Logan Sargent, and in 19th place, sadly, will be Alexander Albon. In 18th place, I've gone for Yuki Tsunoda in the AlphaTauri. It is the Japanese driver's third season now on F1, and he is expected to be the team leader for AlphaTauri now that his more experienced teammate Pierre Gasly has departed for Alpine. However, I believe that Tsunoda is going to struggle for a third season in a row, and he will be beaten by his rookie teammate Nick De Vries. Now, don't get me wrong, Tsunoda did improve a lot in 2022 versus 2021, and he does have the occasional race where he performs pretty well, but over the course of a season, I can personally see him being beaten by the former Formula E champion De Vries. I also see AlphaTauri slipping backwards in terms of competitiveness this season, with them lacking a driver like Pierre Gasly. Gasly was able to typically qualify well and get the car higher than it deserves to be, so without him being in that car, putting it up in higher places than it otherwise should be, we could see the team overall slip back just a little bit in 2023. In 17th place, I've gone for Kevin Magnussen for Haas. K-Mag had a mixed bag season in 2022. He started off with some incredible results, scoring very well for Haas in Bahrain with a 5th place finish. It seemed like the Dane's return was going to be spectacular, but then he only scored points a couple of times after that. Not only this, but after the mid-season, Haas slipped back in terms of competitiveness, which is to be expected given how small the team is. But not only did the team slip back, but Kevin Magnussen slipped back when compared to his teammate Mick Schumacher. Kevin was outraced by Mick Schumacher in 2022 and only really beat Mick due to him having a fantastic start when the team was at its most competitive. 2023 could be a tricky year for Kevin Magnussen when paired up with his not so best friend teammate Nico Hülkenberg. And for me, I think he'll be beaten by the German driver Hülkenberg this season over the course of a full year. Hülkenberg, of course, had a brilliant 2022 for the couple of races that he did do. You know, he did step in the first 2 races for an ill Sebastian Vettel at the start of the year. And, well, he did perform very well, even though the Aston Martin at that point in the season was not competitive at all. He did do a good job. So, I think now with a full season, Hülkenberg, I think he can beat Kevin Magnussen in 2023. In 16th place, I've gone for Nick De Vries. We already talked about his teammate Tsunoda, but in 16th place, I've gone for De Vries. It's going to be his first full year in F1 after having a one-off race last year for Williams, where he managed to score points on debut at Monza. And essentially, that ended any hope of Nicholas Latifi ever returning to F1 for 2023. So, I know what you might be thinking. If you can do that in a one-off, then surely over a full season, he will be electric. Well, I don't really think so. Monza was always going to be a strong race for Williams, and Nick De Vries essentially maximised the car's potential. Given he did this on short notice, and he is a Formula E champion and Formula 2 champion, I do think he'll be able to get more out of the car and more often than his teammate Tsunoda. But I don't think he'll be anywhere near as competitive as Gasly would have been. It is going to be interesting for De Vries this year. Will he be only a one-season wonder, or will he be able to stay? Let me know down in the comments below, because I think Nick De Vries it's an interesting choice, but I can't see him being in F1 for a long period of time, sadly. So that's my bottom 5 drivers, but what about the top 5? Well, we're going to get straight into that with my top 5 drivers for the 2023 F1 season. In 5th place will be Sergio Perez. Checo had a good 2022 season, finishing in 3rd place in the Drivers' Championship and narrowly missing out on 2nd place. But in 2023, I think there will be increased competition from Ferrari and Mercedes. This increased competition, along with the new Pirelli tyres, will see Perez struggle in my opinion, and I don't think he will win a Grand Prix this year, unless Red Bull have actually done something incredible anyway. I spoke a lot more in depth about why I think Perez may struggle in 2023 and be under some pressure, and that video is linked in the description below. Feel free to check that out for a more in-depth discussion, just after you finish this video, of course. In 4th place, I've gone for George Russell. Now, this top 4 for me is going to be mighty close, as I can see all 4 drivers finishing within 50 points of each other this season. I really do think it'll be that close, and in 4th place, I've gone for George. He had an incredible 2022, beating his teammate Lewis Hamilton, but now with an improved Mercedes, and then potentially having a sniff at a championship, I do believe that there is a great chance for a resurgence from Lewis Hamilton in 2023, but I do think it is going to be a lot closer between the top 4, and we will see all 4 of them winning plenty of races in 2023. George, though, will have a year where he will just lose out, but it will, like I said, be very close, and he will win Grand Prix. In 3rd place, I'm going to go for Lewis Hamilton. As I said, it will be very tight between the top 4 drivers this year. With 24 races, I have a feeling they're probably going to win about 22 of the races between the 4 of them, and Russell will win 3 of those races, and I think Lewis will win about 4 races, and just edge out his teammate in the standings. There is one thing that will definitely work in the Mercedes' favour over the course of a long season though, and that is their reliability, as they are typically more reliable than, of course, Ferrari, who like to blow up, and Red Bull, who occasionally like to blow up. And that reliability, I do believe, will help these two to finish ahead of Sergio Perez and Carlos Sainz in the Red Bull and Ferrari. But I just don't think the ultimate performance will be there for those two to be the top 2 for long enough in the season, but it will be very close with their unbelievable talent. Even though Lewis is in the back end of his career, he always manages to deliver and find that next gear when there is a sniff of a championship, and I think in 2023 that will be no different. Which means we're now up to the top 2, and the question is who's going to be in 2nd place and who's going to be in 1st place? Well, in 2nd place, I'm going to go for Max Verstappen. Yep, that's right, I'm going to go for Max to finish in 2nd place. I just have a feeling that Max is going to have the fastest car outright at the start of the season, and this is going to work massively in Red Bull and Max's favour. However, Red Bull do have that development penalty, and with how close I have a feeling the gap is going to be between the top 3 teams, I just have a feeling that after the mid-season we will see that penalty really start to hit and hinder the development of the Red Bull team, and they will just about slip behind both Mercedes and Ferrari by the end of the season. Due to the car falling behind Mercedes towards the end of 2023, I believe that might be just enough to stop Max from winning his 3rd World Championship this year. Which means that, yep, in 3rd place, which you may have already known if you checked out my 5 predictions for the 2023 season video, which is also in the description, feel free to check that out. The winner of the Drivers' Championship in 2023 will be Charles Leclerc. Now, I know what some of you are probably thinking. I am mental for saying this, but if Ferrari can get their act together and put everything behind Charles Leclerc, then I do believe that there is a chance he can win the Drivers' Championship. Ferrari already have a great baseline car, and the rule changes for 2023 will hurt Red Bull slightly more than Ferrari and Mercedes, and with this and the development penalty for Red Bull in mind, provided they do put everything behind Charles Leclerc, I do believe that the season, if it goes perfectly, can go Charles Leclerc's way and he can win the Drivers' World Championship. However, unlike the Mercedes who can run two drivers equally, Ferrari must, and I mean this, must adopt the Red Bull style of running the team and have one of them be the favourite driver and the other driver be a clear number 2. If they fail to do this, then I do believe that they will fail to have a hope in winning the championship. So they're going to put all their eggs in the Charles Leclerc basket. And if they do that, Leclerc just might win the championship. But that is what I think. The question is though, what do you think? Let me know down in the comments below. And just remember, this is a bit of fun. Don't be too upset about my choices. And as always, comment, leave a like, and subscribe for more F1 content. Thank you all so much for watching, guys. Bye.